But moving on to the next type of directory, week 15 to focus on, is industry directories. That is, different directories out there which are just relevant for your own individual particular business, So where can you find these individual niche directories? Well, there's actually a directory of directories that you can go to and find these niche directories. You can also, and it's important to analyze the quality of the various directories that you're considering getting listed in before you actually submit your website, and certainly before you pay anything. It's important to be aware of, what the resultant might be of actually getting listed in that directory. So I'll show you a couple of ways that you can actually analyze the quality of the directories. So first of all, where to find these industry directories? Well, there's a website called Directory Critic. Directorycritic.com is the website address. And they've got a big selection of different niches that you can actually get your website or actually find directories within certain niches. So again, looking at the travel and tourism niche just as an example, they've got a big list of 60-odd directories here that actually are pertinent just towards any website that happens to be in the travel and tourism industry. You can probably find something that's extremely relevant for yourself in terms of niche. So just have a look at this Directory Critic website. But that's having a look at all the directories available. But here's an example here. Great Villa Travel Directory. That's just a travel directory there. But, it's a similar kind of format. You just search for the actual category type that's relevant for your website to be listed in, and then look for a button like that. Add site, add URL in this instance. So click on the add URL button, and then it's a case of filling out all your details again, your URL, your email address, title of your website description. Now, also, you've got a couple of different options here. You can actually choose to link back to the website. Now, you need to consider the benefits of actually you linking to that website as well as them linking to you. Ideally, what you want is just everyone pointing to your website and you're not having to link out to anyone else at all. But some websites won't actually link to your site unless you link to them. Now, it's important, there's nothing wrong with reciprocal linking as long as if you're linking out to extremely relevant websites, So your websites that you link out to have got to be relevant for your consumers, people that view your website. It's got to be a decent resource. If you're linking out to other sites, I would probably limit it to roughly 100 websites max, and just link out from one page and these are our resources, But if you find a quality site that you'd like to swap links with, that's fine, Just don't do it with hundreds and hundreds of websites, because then you're potentially reducing your search engine ranking by actually linking out to hundreds of sites instead of having lots of sites linking out to you. So that's reciprocal linking. So try and get free links. There are two options, free and reciprocal. There. Have a look at their terms. They might say if you give us a reciprocal link, your link will always be higher in the listings, and your link will be forever, and the free link's only for 1 month. So if that's the case and the website's of value, then it might be worthwhile doing the reciprocal. But you need to consider the different situations there. Where else can you search for industry directories? Well, you can actually search for niche directories, obviously in search engines. So this is me searching Google for travel directory. Click Google search, and what comes up? Lots of different travel directories. So the first one we get to here, this traveldirectory.org.uk. Lots of websites, of the travel industry. So if you want to get your website featured here, just scroll down the homepage, you find this button here, submit your website, Again, you've got your details to fill in there as well. Have a look at their terms in terms of reciprocal link, because there's no point in just filling out your details in lots of websites unless, you know exactly what the policy is in terms of reciprocal links. Otherwise, you might not get your link featured. There are 3 ways of filling out a form, remember. You don't have to fill out everything yourself. If you are going to diligently do this and instigate this as part of your internet marketing strategy, then it is worthwhile outsourcing it, If you're going to do it every so often, then make sure you register and use this form, RoboForms. It's an automatic form filler. Otherwise, you can manually do it yourself. Now, I mentioned that there are ways to actually determine whether or not directories were potentially of value to getting your websites listed in there. Now, there are 2 kind of big ways that you can actually use to determine the relevance of directories and the value of directories. One is Google PageRank, and the next is Alexa ranking. So Let's have a little look at Google PageRank. Now, Google offer a toolbar that you can actually download and install on your browser, on Internet Explorer or on Firefox. It doesn't matter what either of those two browsers that you actually use. But part of the toolbar is something called the PageRank tool. And it's a little green line there that indicates their rough ranking of every individual web page out there in terms of how good they actually deem the web page to be in terms of value and in terms of popularity. It's a ranking between 0 and 10, and it shows you kind of roughly how popular a web page is. Now, if your directory is probably page 4 rank 4 and above, then it's probably worthwhile getting listed in there, as long as you don't have to pay much. If it's just ranked 0 and it's not that relevant, or 1, then it might not be worth your time to get listed in there. But anyway, so how do you download the Google toolbar? Just search for Google toolbar, you get this page, click download, and you can install it in your browser, and you can start seeing the value of web pages using the PageRank button. Another way of just determining the popularity, the worth of getting yourselves listed on a website is using Alexa.com. And Alexa will actually show you the amount of traffic in their estimation that have visited a website over a period of time. So they rank the top 10 million websites out there. So, this is comparing the top 3, Yahoo.com, MSN.com, and Google.com. So you can see, this is Google over time, MSN and Yahoo. So you can see, kind of just for fun, how they've fared, But in terms of analysing websites that you may want to get listed in, just to give you a very rough figure, if you see a website and it's ranked roughly 200,000 on Alexa, then that equates to, in my experience, roughly 100 unique visitors per day that they're getting. So, if you get that kind of figure and above, it's definitely of value to get listed in that kind of website, and especially if they have a page rank 4 and above. If you start looking at websites and they've got Alexa ranks of, higher than 1 million or something like that, they're probably not going to offer you that much value, But if it is a relevant website and it's a free link, get listed in there anyway. So that's using Alexa.com just to understand briefly what value there is in terms of websites and getting listed in there. So, week 15, industry directories. Make sure you actually visit directorycritic.com to actually establish, what niche directories are out there that are relevant for you, and I say formats, part of your strategy, get listed in some of those directories. So, search for niche directories as well using search engines. Use a combination of search engines perhaps. Use Google, use Yahoo, use MSN, because sometimes they can throw up different results and give decent relevant directories, and maybe put a spreadsheet together with perhaps 50, 100 directories that you want to get listed in, and just kind of make it, part of your action plan. These websites are going to get listed in over this period of time. And one other thing to bear in mind, apart from the fact that obviously you've got to compare the quality of directories before submitting, is it's important to rotate keyword phrases in your submission titles and descriptions. Obviously, you're targeting a specific keyword phrase for your home page, and that's largely the keyword phrase that you want websites to use when they're actually linking to you. That'll help you with your optimization. However, there is a fine line between optimization and over-optimization. So what I tend to recommend is roughly 50% of the time, when you're actually trying to get people to link to you, try and get them to use that keyword phrase. But the rest of the time, get them to use a mixture of other phrases. For your keyword phrase with some other words, with some other words completely related to your industry. Even get some other websites to try and link to you just using the words "click here," because that looks a lot more natural. That mimics nature in terms of actually search engine optimization. Search engine optimization isn't about tricking search engines. It's just about trying to actually help search engines gauge where your website fits in relation to other sites and how relevant it is. So if you can actually get some links linking to you using your keyword phrase, that's brilliant, but you want a mixture of other links as well. So that's week 15, industry directories.